What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another SGN video where it's all sim all the time, and we are in the Detroit Lions series where we're going to go over everything that has happened in the first month of the season. We are sitting currently at 1-6-1. We're going to take a look at stats, some player upgrades, and kind of what we're looking ahead to for the future, and how we're going to improve this team not only in the second half of the season, but hopefully next season as well. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. Now, keep in mind that when we look at some of the things that this was a cross between my first slider set and then update came out when we had to drop a second slider set. So some of the stats might look a little bit off, and kind of we'll talk about a little bit about it anyway. However, let's talk about the first thing here. Now, if you followed my best franchise settings video that I dropped last year, I didn't really need to drop a new one this year because nothing really changed in franchise that affected this. But you know that I, rock a 3 times per year that you can upgrade your players after the preseason, halfway through the season, and after the season, and that's kind of when you can see these jumps from players. So we just finished our halfway point. We just finished week 9, and so we're going to go ahead and actually take a look and see who is eligible for upgrade. And the reason I say that is because you can downgrade players due to performance. So the reason I like to go that long of a stretch, because you could have like upgraded a player, and then if he plays bad, he could downgrade, from week to week. And I don't really like that. I think that's, inconsistent. I like just to, whatever that player is through the first half of the season, then you upgrade them, and then whatever happens through the next, then you upgrade them, and so on and so on. So we have our punter here. We're going to go ahead and upgrade him. Some of these I might just do an auto if they're not really anyone that I'm worried about, but we're going to go through some of the bigger names. So obviously Aiden Hutchinson, I want to be a power rusher. He's not going to be no run stopper. We're going to realign him in our offense next season so that he is not expected to be a run stopper. We want him getting after the quarterback. We're going to go pass rusher. Power rusher here. Let him try to be a beast. Jameson Williams, our rookie, obviously want big things from him. Deep threat would be huge. He's already really fast. So I need him to be a little bit more physical. He's got the speed. That should improve his catching traffic and catching overall, and spectacular catch. So we'll improve that. Baker is currently at 75. Like I said, he's been all over the place. He's already got a pretty strong arm. I think we're going to go ahead. Let's see, this is throw power, deep throw, medium accuracy, which I do like to throw. We're gonna keep doing strong arm. I'm still undecided if Baker's going to be the quarterback of our future. We don't really have anyone sitting and waiting right now, so not really sure. And this is all that we have left to upgrade, so I'm just going to let it happen. That's it. That was our upgrades after 8 weeks. That's not a lot. But that's why I like waiting, is because you get that strong balance. All right, let's go ahead and if you haven't been watching every single game, highlight video that I've uploaded, we're going to take a look at the team schedule, kind of go over week 1. Excuse me. Tough loss to the Eagles, 17-6. Very defensive game. Week 2 was our only win, where we just exploded on the Commanders, 52-13. Week 3, we were out to a 21-0 lead over the Vikings and gave up 35 straight. Seahawks, a 1-score game. We're going to talk about the 1-score losses here. Seahawks, 6-point game that we lost. Patriots were a close game till the end, but we lost by 10. Cowboys was another 1-score game, 16-10. Very defensive battle. And then we tied the Dolphins and lost to the Packers 21-28. So we're currently 1-6-1. But we have the potential if you go to the one-score games right here. The Seahawks, if we do that, then we're 2-5-1. And if you go down to the Cowboys, that's a one-score game. Then we're 3-4-1. And if we win the tiebreaker, then we're just 4-4. And the Packers is a one-score game. We have potential to be 5-3. So we have some potential to be even in the playoff hunt with games against the Bears, Giants, Bills, Jaguars, Vikings, Jets, Panthers, Bears, and Packers in the second stretch of the season. But obviously it didn't turn out that way. We have a young team, so we're going to focus on finishing the games and trying to close out those games. One of the other big problems that we have had as we go to our stats has been the turnovers. So if we go to turnovers, we're the worst in the league with this, a minus 16. We've had 25 giveaways, 19 interceptions. We've lost 6 fumbles. We only have 9 takeaways. We have 5 interceptions, 4 fumbles. So one thing we're going to have to look at in our offseason is we need to get more ball hawks in the secondary, try to create more turnovers, but also we need to cut back on the interceptions. When you turn the ball over 25 times and you only get 9 in return and you're plus 16, we've played half the season. So that literally means in our 8 games, we're averaging 2 turnovers a game, which I don't know many teams that are going to win games when you're minus 2 in the turnover department. And then we go to our offense. We are the 22nd ranked offense, as you saw right away there. Let's see, 1, 2, right down here. Here we are. 22nd ranked offense. So we definitely have some room to grow. We're only averaging 20.8 points a game. That's not a lot. We're actually at the very bottom. I mean, we're one of the bottom of the league. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're the 24th ranked scoring offense, which is not good. You know, you got 23 teams scoring more points than us, and that's, you know, of course that's no wonder we're 1-6-1, right? We just need to be able to score more points. Defensively, the numbers are skewed. So overall, it's going to show that we have the number 1 defense as far as yards allowed. Well, the reason that this is the case is because of all the turnovers. When you give the ball away, and you give up short fields, right, they're scoring points, you know, they don't have to go very far. And I will tell you that most of our turnovers are giving them a short field. So that's, and then when they get up, then they're just running the football. You kind of know they're going to run the football and stuff like that. So the reason this is skewed for that reason, and then also we had to make a slider change to make the CPU more effective, and that affected the first couple games of the season. So those two things combined, but we really are not that great of a defense. I can promise you, and I'll show you some of the recent games with the updates just as proof of that. But we don't have the number 1 rush defense, so we definitely give up rushing yards, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 teams better than us, so we're about middle of the pack. And rushing yards, where we are the number 1 is passing yards, but again, that's because teams get up on us and they just run. They get up on us because of turnovers. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about there. Penalties, we know that they don't really exist in Madden. We're not really exceeding anywhere offensively just because of, obviously, we're not doing much. But if we go back and look at, we'll just kind of look at our last 2 games. We don't need to do much more than that. But if we go back to our last 2 games, The Packers had 373 yards against us. The Dolphins had 312. So, I mean, we're giving up yards. And, you know, I'm pretty sure you go to the Vikings game, they had 400 or 374. Sorry. So, I mean, again, if they're not having such short fields because of turnovers, they're going to have more yards. So our defensive ranking is definitely skewed because if we really had that good of a defense, we wouldn't be 1-6-1, even with the turnovers. So it's not what it appears, but I wanted to kind of just go over that and explain why. What we will do kind of is we will kind of check in on some player stats. Let's take a look here. So this is Baker's season right now. 2,100 yards currently, 14 touchdowns to 19 interceptions. Not good. 60%, 264 yards per game, which is actually a decent amount, but you're throwing a lot because we're behind. For an overall pass rating of 72, 7.6 yards per attempt is pretty decent. 54 is the longest, and we've taken 28 sacks, which means we're on pace for 54 sacks. 50. What the heck? 25 times 2 is 50. 56 sacks. Wow, my God. Math is hard sometimes. 56 sacks is a lot, so we need to cut back on the sacks for sure. Rushing. DeAndre Swift has been getting a 2-to-1 rush carry over Jamal Williams. Just that's kind of how it's played out. But they have both ran the ball effectively. We have a 5.4 yards per carry and a 4 yards per carry. They both have 3 touchdowns rushing, 76 yards and 25 rushing yards a game. So we are averaging over 100 yards rushing a game. I'd like to get more carries just in general because of how well we are running the football behind that big offensive line. But when you're playing from behind, it's hard to do. But he's on pace for 1,200 yards rushing, so we will take that from our running back. Receiving, okay. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Jameson Williams at the top of the list with receptions, 38 and 35, so both are and currently right now going to hit over 70 receptions for the season. Both are looking like they're going to be 1,000-yard wide receivers. DJ Chark might even squeeze in there too. He's got 31 receptions as well. All three of them are getting a good amount of receptions. Amon-Ra St. Brown is leading the way with his average yards per game and average catch. Jameson Williams has the most touchdowns, but look at that rack from Amon-Ra. We need to get Jameson Williams. We need to find ways to get him in space a little bit more because he is so lightning quick. DJ Chark has our actual longest reception of 65 yards. But then we go down here. So we have all our big four between our top 3 wide receivers and TJ Hawkinson are all over 30 catches. So they're all looking at over 60 catches for the year. That is absolutely insane that the ball is being spread around that much. I really do hope that Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams continue to get better to where we kind of have a dominant player that we can kind of go to. But right now it's kind of just whoever's open gets it. TJ Hawkinson only has 1 touchdown on the year. He's doing great as far as receptions and yards, but we need more scoring from him. But I'm actually surprised at how little receptions are for our running backs. Combined is only 24. That's shocking to me. But you know, the passing yards have been there. The turnovers have also been there. Let's go defensively. Alex Anzalone is just crushing it with the tackles. Our middle linebacker. We'll kind of let him develop a little bit. He's only 23. But we are not really interested in tackles. We're interested in sacks. So Aiden Hutchinson is on pace to finish the season with 13 sacks as a rookie. We will absolutely take that. Malcolm Rodriguez somehow is at 5. Jamar Johnson 3.5. Will Harris 2.5. Our defensive tackles. One thing that's really disappointing here, and we're gonna have to figure out how to improve his chances on that, is we don't have a sack from Tyus Bowser, who we traded to be that pass rusher. We don't have hardly any tackles from him, and we don't have any sacks. And so right now this is looking like a very bad trade. Although he does have 2 forced fumbles. We need to get him more downs played though. 200 downs played is not enough. When we look at 800s, it's at 410. We need to find a way to get him on the field more. We're probably going to have to look at moving him around on the line so we can get more. We need more out of Tyus Bowser, straight up. This is where we're probably going to make a change as well. Austin Seibert. As you guys know how I kick, you do not aim. You have to be early or late on the kick meter. And we've had some struggles with that. We're currently 6 of 15 for 40%. But we're good on our extra points. It's just our actual field goals where we've had some issues. And the fact that we play in a dome 8 times a year plus Minnesota, so 9 to 10, depending on with the extra game, 9 to 10 games are in a dome. That's not good, especially since we are rebuilding our stadium. We're no longer going to be at Ford Field next year. We're going to be outside. It's just going to be that much more difficult to make kicks. Punting, Jack Fox, he's doing a 45-yard average punt. Like I said, we need to get a little more power there, but we'll take it. We're not really worried about it. Kick return game has been okay. Bo Melton is the guy we're kind of rocking right now. We probably need to put someone more dynamic back there, as he's only averaging 23 yards. The long is 26. However, the fear for me is you put someone more dynamic back there, he could get hurt. But we definitely need a spark in the kick return game. We're simply not getting it. Punt return, again, at average of 6.5. Bo Melton does not seem to be the answer in the return game. So we're definitely going to have to look to make a change there. But that is kind of our stats right now, where we're sitting in the upgrades that we just had. And we've picked a futuristic stadium is what we're going to build. We're going to do the deluxe futuristic stadium. I mean, we are owned by the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. So we better get deluxe, and it better be futuristic. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And our next game is against Chicago. And we're just going to take a look here real quick at the record of the teams that we play coming up here. If we can see it. We see the Bears are 3-6. So let's go down here. Lions, the Bears, it's not even going to show it there either, huh? So it's not going to show. Alright, let's go see what the Giants, Bills, and Jaguars are. Need to go to standings. I'm being an idiot here. If I can find it. Where are the little standings? Do they not have a standings? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go do it this way. This is ridiculous. There's no standings. So the Bills are, wow, loss, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, 2-5, 2-6. Don't know what's going on with them. Giants are 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 2-3, 3-3. They're 4-4. So our next 3 games are 3-6, 2-6, and 4-4. We play the Jaguars too, actually, don't we? Jaguars are 0-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-5. So all winnable games potentially. We'll see how it plays out, but we could definitely go on a run. I don't think we can make a playoff run, but we should be able to at least make our record respectable. At the other end of that, we are currently holding the number 1 draft pick in the NFL draft right now. So obviously every game that we win can hurt that. But anyway, this is the midseason check-in for you guys who've been following the series, watching the games, the highlights. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And then let me know, are you guys enjoying more when I stream the full games or when I play the games offline and cut it down and give you NFL Game Day style highlights and upload that video that's about 14 to 15 minutes long instead? Let me know, and we will go ahead and continue the series, and we'll have another video like this to end the season and cover not only the end of the season, but we'll do an off-season video as well. So thank you guys for checking out the video, and as always, stay tuned to the next one. Peace.